Hi YouTube, hope you're all doing well. The patch notes for Season 3 have been released and I stayed spoiler free, so I can give you all my first and honest opinion about all of them. I'm very hyped to see what is gonna change, how the meta is gonna evolve in Season 3, especially with the new character Phoenix coming into the game. But without further ado, let's hop right into it because I'm so hyped to see what is happening. I only saw the dev blog where they mentioned a few characters that are gonna buff and nerf, but no specific things. So let's see what they're actually planning to do here. So let's see. First character is gonna be Emma Frost. They're starting off with the Vanguards. They said in the dev blog they're gonna nerf Emma Frost. So let's see what they are planning to do here. Reduce telepathic pulse damage at 99 energy from 120 per second to 110 per second, and from 150 per second to 140 per second at 100 energy. Okay, so they're just reducing her left click damage, which makes sense, just by 10 per second on all stages. Like from 1 to 99 energy, it just goes down by 10, and then at 100 energy, it also goes down by 10. I didn't even know how much more she actually dealt at 100 charge. I never read the numbers, but okay, it's just 30 more. Which is quite a bit, like don't underestimate that. Okay, reduce damage from damage reduction from 30% to 25%. Okay, less tanky in the diamond form. Okay, love that. Reduce the energy cost of psionic seduction, the ultimate, from 3700 to 3400. Okay, so a small compensation buff. While she deals less damage and is less tanky, she gets her ultimate way more often. I guess that's one way to balance her out. Like, they're reducing her damage from her left click, which is her main source of damage, right? So if they didn't like reduce her ult charge gain, she would just get her ultimates way too slow probably. So they're trying to compensate that a little bit, so she still gets her ultimate at the same speed while reducing the damage, which I think is fine. Okay, so just less damage, less tanky in total. Okay, cool. Yeah, love that. I would have personally loved to see her not being able to one-shot 250 characters in the diamond form, but maybe that's what they want her to do. So let's see how this is gonna do for her. I personally think she has a bit too much left-click range, but hey, whatever. I'll take less damage on it. Okay, the Thing. New ability, Battle Blades. I saw that in the video. The Thing leaps towards enemies, getting 25% damage reduction. Leaping targeting distance to enemies is 20 meters. Stone Haymaker, new effect. Knocks down flying enemies. The jump scare Thing. I love this change so much. Thing was so bad in this season because flyers were dominating the meta. And what is Thing gonna do into flyers? Absolutely nothing. So this is honestly such a cool change to see. Imagine you're just a torch or a storm in the air trying to shoot enemies, and all of a sudden there's a Thing flying up, knocking you down, and you're gonna die. The jump scare Thing. I love this. This is a great change. Very nice. Love to see that. I'm actually curious if this is actually gonna do a lot to help him out with that, but from the looks, I pretty much think so, yeah. Okay, Venom buff. Increase cellular corrosion. English! Enemy slow effect from 50% to 25%. Wait, which ability is that? His control after diving in is now slightly more terrifying. Cellular... is that his right click or his slam? It's one of those two spells, right? I think his right click, when it like deals damage to them, it slows them. So it might be that, right? I think it's the right click tentacle. Okay, so just a bit more of a slow effect. Okay, I was scared for when they mentioned in the dev blog that they're gonna buff Venom, that they're gonna just increase his damage, which I would absolutely hate. Because I think Venom is one of these characters, if they are meta, it is very unhealthy for the game. And he's already very unkillable, and now imagine if he actually dealt more damage. I think that would be very bad. So just giving him a bit more slow is, I think, okay. Because this season he was not good simply because he can't deal with flyers. Just like Thing, right? So if the meta is gonna change, Venom will also come back again. So a small change like this, buffing a little bit of a slow effect, is, in my opinion, fine. I don't think he should be buffed in other aspects of his kit, in my opinion. So, cool. I'm fine with this. Duelist, Human Torch. Okay, I didn't say this in the beginning, but there's actually two characters that I really hope are getting nerfs, and one of them is Human Torch, and the other one is Psylocke. So, Seeing Human Torch on the list already gives me hope. Let's see what they're gonna do. Reduce firecaster damage per projectile from 6 to 5.5, which is already a big damage nerf, which I very much appreciate. Reduce supernova ultimate activation shockwave damage from 80 to 75 and fire tornadoes from 120 to 110. So less damage on the ult as well. Love that. Add team up anchor bonus, 5% damage boost. Okay. Oh, they're just compensating a little bit because he gives a team up now, right? So he's becoming an anchor, so he gets a seasonal bonus, which is a 5% damage boost. But they didn't want to just give him a damage boost, obviously, so they're gonna reduce his damage slightly on his fire cluster and also ultimate, which I think is fair. Okay, sure. We have Thing as a counter to flyers now, so I'm just sorry to all my, especially to my Human Torch main duo, Farming Souls. I absolutely hate playing against Torch. I love having you on my team, but I hate playing against you as a support. Okay, sure. Let's see what they're gonna do. Iron Man, reduce the first 2 repulsor blast hits from 40 to 45 and from 50 to 45 on an armor overdrive. Increase energy cost of the ultimate ability from 2800 to 3400. Okay, so less spam heavy. It's just this left click AoE blast poke that he's constantly doing, but they're only nerfing it in the armor overdrive, so once he activates his E ability. And they're also increasing the amount it takes to get his ultimate, which I think is fair because he was one of the characters that got it so fast because he can just spam everyone down. So less damage on his spam while also increasing the ultimate ability is, I think, a very, very fair thing to nerf on Iron Man. So sure. Mr. Fantastic, reduce inflated state bonus health from 400 to 350. I'm actually surprised they are nerfing Mr. Fantastic because I did not see him at all this season, to be honest. But I do agree that once we would get back to a brawl meta, that he might be a little bit too unkillable. So this is just a slight, just a 50 HP nerf on his inflated state, but I think it's okay. It doesn't bother me too much. So not really much to say to that. Namor, increase Trident of Neptune projectile damage from 70 to 75 and projectile speed from 120 to 150. That is his left click, right? So just straight up more damage and more speed. Interesting. Increase Wrath of the 7 Seas projectile speed from 120 to 150 as well, which is the right click, I believe, right? Okay, holy moly. Becoming more and more hit scan on the Namor side, huh? So he's dealing 150 damage with headshots now. That's sick. With more projectile speed. That's scary. Namor making a comeback. I don't think you should underestimate this. They did the same thing to Moon Knight, where they buffed the projectile speed. They also did this to Storm back in the day in season 1, I believe, which actually matters quite a bit. So curious how that is gonna affect Namor. Scarlet Witch, her ultimate ability, reduce max slow rate during reality erasure change period from 35 to 25%. Increase damage from 750 to 850. Damage increase. I guess it has damage fall off, so it's more reliable to one-shot enemies. So okay, and they're also reducing slightly the slow. Okay, I'm actually curious how many ultimate buffs Scarlet Witch needs until it's actually gonna become scary or usable. Because reducing the slow is definitely helpful. I don't know how much the damage change is gonna do because it already one-shots anyway. But I don't know how much fall off damage he has on it, right? So curious how that will do. Eventually Scarlet Witch will be a meta character. Mark my words, they're gonna buff her until she's gonna be good and meta. Just wait for it. Spider-Man. Okay, please don't go hard on Spider-Man buffs. I really don't think anyone wants Spider-Man being a meta character, especially now with a new team-up. Increase get over here kick damage when pulled to enemies from 50 to 55. So more damage to that. Increase spider power mid-air damage from 50 to 55. Increase amazing combo damage from 55 to 60. Okay, just buffing damage numbers. Spidey loses his team-up anchor bonus, but gains a new team ability and a bit more bite. Okay, so he loses his damage from his seasonal bonus. That's why they're buffing the damage of his abilities. Okay, I think that is okay, but I think they gotta keep an eye out on Spider-Man, especially now that he has a new team up, because it can be, especially for lower ranks, this character can become really frustrating really fast, right? For higher ranks, personally, it shouldn't be too much of a bother unless like you play against like Raziel or one of these crazy Spider-Man one tricks. I don't think Necros is one of them anymore personally, because he's just he's a Black Panther goat. Like his Black Panther is, I think, better than his Spider-Man currently, but I might be wrong because I don't personally watch him too much. Okay, yeah, so cool. No team up anchor damage boost anymore, but a little bit more damage on his overall abilities, plus the team up if he gets it with Phoenix, if they're both in the game. Let's see how that will do in the meta. Hard to say, hard to say. Punisher, reduce culling turret projectile damage from 12 to 10 and decrease spell field damage from 12 to 10. This is 100% necessary. His turret form on specific maps can be very, very frustrating to play against, because it just takes forever to break, because he's either super far away or like he's in such a cheeky spot where it's just hard to hit him, right? So less damage on it, which also means he gets less ult shot, right? Because the turret form usually gives him this big ult chunk. Increase the energy cost of Final Judgment from 3400 to 3700, and yeah, turret less damage and ult more. He needs more points or energy cost to get his ultimate, which I think is fine. So because his ult is oftentimes a team deciding factor, right? A team fight deciding factor. So I think this is good. So he gets it less often. So it can still do the same things as it did before, but not as often. Bucky, adjust rotor stern damage fall off. Maximum at 40 meters from 60% to 70%. Bucky's getting a little more dangerous from downtown. Okay, that is his normal left click, right? So it just has less damage fall off. So he deals more damage on range. Okay, interesting. I'm not sure if Bucky needed a buff, but they might still be a little bit scared that hit scans are gonna dominate or so. Wait. Or like flyers maybe still dominate, so they wanna give more options other than Hela to maybe deal with them. Maybe that's the reason. Or Bucky just needed it, but I can't really see that being the reason. But okay, more damage, or like less damage fall off. Wolverine, okay, I really hope this is a nerf, because him getting a team up, being a perma pick or ban character, I'm very scared he's gonna become a permaban. Let's see. Increase Feral Leap strike duration from 4 seconds to 5 seconds. Increase its cooldown from 12 to 15. Okay, cooldown increase is very nice. Logan's control frequency is taking a slight hit as he now needs more time to sharpen those claws between leaps. The leap duration. Oh, is the leap strike duration like this fast attacking that he has after the leap? So they're buffing the duration that he has on his quick attacks, but they're nerfing the cooldown of it. I'm actually worried that Wolverine might be a pick ban in the next season because of his new team up. Having lifesteal and additional damage after his like leap is kind of scary. I feel bad for tanks. For my prediction, Wolverine might be a permaban next season. We'll see about that, because hit scans are usually a counter to Wolverine in my opinion, and with the addition of Phoenix, which is a hit scan, and Hela being still like not nerfed and a great hit scan, you know, might be hit scan meta again, with Wolverine not being able to do much against that, but we'll see. I don't know how the meta is gonna evolve yet, right? Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. Now we're getting to Strategist. I've seen in the dev blog that INVIS is gonna get a buff, but I'm so curious what they're gonna buff with her. Let's see. Invisible Woman, first character to see. Alright, I'm so hyped. Increase or protection healing on launch from 40 to 45 and damage from 20 to 25. Reduce healing on return from 40 to 35 and damage. Oh, wait, that is interesting. Wait. So in total, it's the same, right? It's 45 when she throws it, and the return 35. So it's in total the same. I'm so interested in what the reason for this change is. I guess it's easier to hit the left click like the first throw first, and it's harder to hit the returning one as well. I mean, I guess that is the reason, but I'm not sure. Is this gonna do a lot? Is this actually gonna do a lot? I don't pay attention to it too much, but is it actually harder to hit the bound, the return? Is it like so much less reliable? This is interesting. I'd have to play her after this change is out to see if this actually is gonna matter. Okay, interesting. So in total, from numbers wise, nothing really changed. It's just, I guess, easier to heal if you have, if you're less good at like controlling the return bounce, I guess. Hard for me to say. This is hard to judge, but sure. I mean, since nothing changed and the first left click is better, like in total that is a buff, because you never know what the return one is gonna do, or like how they're gonna strafe, right? So they can always dodge it. But I'm very, very curious about this. But I'll take anything that is an INVIS buff, you know? I'll take anything. We're striking back this season. Alright, let's see. Loki, increase the energy cost of God of Mischief from 4,000 to 4,300. Okay, I think that was pretty much necessary. Loki gets his ult way too fast with what he can do with it, basically becoming anything, even a Luna ult. So, especially with his big AoE heals and damage at the same time, I think this is necessary, and I think a good nerf to him. Personally, a change I would just like to see on Loki is his lamps having just slightly less HP. Because one thing as an INVIS player that I really dislike is you need 3 shots for his to kill his lamps, right? I'd love that to be 2 shots at least. But this is just a biased opinion. But sure, I'll take this nerf. I'll take it. I'm curious. They're not nerfing Luna. Okay, interesting. Mantis, healing flower new effect, heals allies by 2.5% per second. Reduce base heal from 20 to 12.5%. Oh. So this is a max HP heal now combined with the base heal. So it's better on tanks. Increase energy cost of her ultimate from 3,700 to 4,300. Okay, more ult energy cost. Increases bonus health from 100 to 150. So, okay, she takes a little bit longer to get her ultimate, but it gives you more bonus HP if you're already full HP, which is a good thing. And they're taking a little bit of the base healing, but giving her max HP healing, so it's better on tanks, which then again gives you more ult charge in return, right? So you might not notice this too much, but it's still 600, right? It will matter. Interesting. Okay. She can actually heal tanks now. I like that. That is a good change. Curious to see how that will affect her. Ultron, reduce dynamic flight acceleration time from 8 to 6, so that's a nerf to his mobility. Reduce imperative firewall bonus health to self from 76 to 65. No, 75 to 65, and to allies from 55 to 50. Okay, Ultron nerfs, which I think is okay, honestly. So just to his 2 abilities, he's less mobile on his shift, and he also has less bonus HP on his barrier thingy that he does. Okay, so it makes it a bit easier to kill him, which I think is fine. Because they don't like nerf any part of his healing or damage. They still like that part of his kit, but they just want to make it easier to kill him, which I think is okay. Okay, sure. Fine with me. Let's see. Yeah, the Spider-Man Human Torch team up. Human Torch gets 5% damage boost, but they nerfed other parts of his power. Spider-Man gets his new ability. Phoenix Wolverine. Phoenix gains 10% damage boost because she's the anchor, and Wolverine has the new team up. Okay. Removed Squirrel Girl, Spider-Man, Iron Man. Okay, exactly. The Spider-Man Squirrel Girl got removed. Squirrel Girl got added to the Stark Protocol with her homing missile. The Human Torch Storm one is gone. Hela is added to the Venom one. Okay, the Guardian Revival. This is getting nerfed, right? Increases Leader Souls and Natural Souls ability cooldown from... Okay, 15-second more cooldown on the revives. Okay. You know, I would have personally liked to see that the revival is shared between Star-Lord and Mantis. I know that would probably destroy the team up, but I just think having 2 more revives on the team is so incredibly strong. But hey, a nerf is a nerf. I'll take a nerf. Venom team up. Increase Guardian of the Deep maximum bonus health from 50 to 100 and max Tendril link period from 3 seconds to... Yeah, we're getting a buff to the Jeff team up. Let's go. More bonus health and more duration. I love that. Yeah, give me that. I absolutely adore this Jeff team up with the Venom, but I never get to play it. So seeing a buff to it hopefully makes me able to play it a bit more. Cool. And that is gonna be the end of the patch. Okay, interesting. Quite a few changes, not too game-changing ones, but definitely a lot that will see a change in the meta. Giving us more options to counter flyers will definitely matter, while also giving us nerfs to these flyers. So I think the flyer meta will come to an end with Season 3, especially with a new hit scan Phoenix being added. I think they're still gonna be a niche pick, but they're not gonna be as OP as they are right now. I think Thing is definitely gonna be playable again. I wonder what kind of meta we're gonna get again. Is it gonna be a brawl meta again? With Thing buffs? We'll see, we'll see. With especially with Emma getting a nerf, right? Being a counter to all these brawler tanks might make us see more brawlers, right? I think Namor is gonna be good. I can see these buffs being like incredibly strong, right? I can see Namor being super good next patch. Spider-Man is probably gonna be a menace, but most likely in lower ranks. I don't think he's gonna be a meta pick in higher elo, other than the Spider-Man mains that are already playing him non-stop. I think Punisher will still gonna be one of the best DPS in the game for the next season, but maybe not a pick ban, a must pick ban anymore, right? I can see Bucky being a meta character. I definitely see Wolverine as a must pick ban. Like that is a 100% for me. I think Hela and Phoenix are most likely gonna be pick and bans. We'll see how Phoenix is gonna do in the meta. For the Strategist meta, if it's gonna be a brawl meta, then I think INVIS is gonna do very well into it. Other than that, since Luna did not see a change, I think Luna will still gonna be the best healer. I think Mantis is gonna be playable, but I think your go-to will still be Luna and Loki. But there's an argument where you can play INVIS and Luna. I don't think Loki and INVIS is gonna be that great, but we'll see, we'll see. I would have personally loved the change to Cloak and Dagger. I would have loved for them to take a little bit of power off of the Terror Cape and buff other aspects of maybe Dagger's kit. Like, I would have loved to see a buff to Dagger's reload speed to match it to the form change that people are always using to faster reload. I would have loved to see a buff to that and maybe take a little bit power of the Terror Cape, which I think is a very, very strong ability. But no changes to Cloak and Dagger or to Luna is a little bit surprising to me, but hey. They can always hotfix more changes if it's absolutely necessary. But overall, I'm very happy with the changes that they do. I'm just sad that that we don't see more Psylocke nerfs. I personally think Psylocke is still one of the best DPS characters that needs a nerf. I definitely think she needs a reduction in her magazine size. I think 16 shots is a little bit too much for her. They can definitely reduce that to either 8 or 10, because like, or give her like more fall off damage. I think her non-existent fall off damage is just absolutely absurd. Like it's not even her uncounterable one-shots that I find so annoying, but it's just she sometimes feels like a sniper from the range that she like shoots from, which still deals so much damage to you, and then also getting an ultimate every 30 seconds. I don't know. I just, this might be very biased, but I think Psylocke still is in need of desperate nerfs. But that is, as said, my opinion. You are free to have a different opinion. All right. Do let me know what you guys think is gonna be in the what is gonna be meta in season 3. Tell me what changes you like, what you dislike, what changes you would have liked to see. Do let me know if I misinterpret any of these changes, because that is always possible, because they are only writing ability names, so I might I might think it's a different ability with the actual ability that they meant. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. Have a wonderful rest of the day.